Some cars don't just cost a lot to buy. A single repair can cost more than the car itself. Today we'll cover 15 cars with repair bills so outrageous, they'll shock you. These aren't your typical maintenance costs. We are talking about catastrophic failures that can financially destroy you with just one trip to the mechanic. Let's dive into these automotive money pits. Number 15. Bentley Continental GT. The first-generation Bentley Continental GT resembles the final exotic bargain at $30,000 used, a literal British luxury grand tourer that cost six figures in the past. What the dealers do not tell you is that you are not purchasing a car. You are actually buying a very costly pet, which only snacks on your wallets. Coil packs of the W12 engine have clockwork reliability, and a full replacement of the 12 may cost between $3,000 and $5,000. But that's just the appetizer. When the air suspension loses, and it will, you can figure about $8,000 to $12,000 to install a whole new system. When the ZF transmission decides to suffer a breakdown, it will cost between $10,000 and $15,000 to replace. The brutality of mathematics is easy to understand. One big repair can cost more than the whole car did. These Continental GTs lure consumers with their beautiful lines and Bentley badges and ultimately financially ruin them with maintenance bills that are sometimes as high as the cost of a home down payment. The most heartbreaking part? It does not take long before Bentley owners discover that exotic styling is accompanied with exotic dealer labor rates. Even the basic maintenance seems like you're funding a GDP of a small country. Number 14. Porsche 911, 996, and early 997. All owners of Porsche 996 and even the Porsche 997 have a sword suspended above their heads, and that sword is the intermediate shaft bearing. Deep in the engine, this small part can just stop working one day and end up taking your whole motor. Once the IMS bearing releases, it is not a mere replacement you are looking at. You are looking at an entire engine rebuild or replacement that costs $15,000 to $25,000 or more. The engine internals are ruined, valves are broken, and that was once a masterpiece of German engineering is now a costly metal scrap. The truly terrifying part? This is an established design flaw, not a coincidental failure. Porsche was aware of it, owners are aware of it, and thousands of these vehicles are on the road taking part in Russian roulette with each startup. The cost of preventive IMS bearing upgrades is $2,000 to $4,000, but the trick here is that some engines cease functioning even before the owner is aware of the existence of an issue. It is gambling in cars where the house always wins and the house is your garage. Number 13. Range Rover L322 and Sport. Range Rovers are the ultimate status symbol until they turn into the ultimate cash drain. These British beauties are full of air suspension, sophisticated electronics, and transfer cases that appear to be engineered to fail in the most costly manner known to man. Failure of the air suspension alone will cost between $3,000 and $8,000 when more than one part has failed, and they prefer to break down in clusters. Compressors and air springs and valve blocks and height sensors all tend to surrender at the same time, leaving repair bills that would make a mortgage payment look like chump change. But wait, there's more. The transfer case electronics and drivetrain parts may cost you another $2,000 to $10,000 misery. We are discussing fixes that often cost more than $15,000 on cars that could be worth between $20,000 to $30,000. The cruel irony? These are not uncommon events. The issues of Range Rover reliability are so heightened that extended warranty has become a necessity, not a luxury. When your luxury SUV is in the garage more than your driveway, you begin to wonder what luxury is all about. Number 12. Cadillac Northstar V8 cars. Cadillac Northstar V8 was positioned as the American car excellence, a high-tech, high-power engine that would place Detroit on the luxury radar. Instead, it turned out to be one of the costliest miscalculations in the history of automobiles, as beautiful Cadillacs became workplace financial bombs. The Northstar has a fatality flaw of its block design made of aluminum with steel head bolts. The block threads strip out when the engine overheats, which it will, resulting in disastrous head gasket failure. It is not a simple gasket change and would need thread repair or engine replacement costing up to $5,000 to $8,000. The worst of this is that the failures tend to occur in well-maintained vehicles having an excellent service history. Religiously change the oil, don't miss even a single coolant flush, and coddle the car. The Northstar will still turn on you with mathematical accuracy at about 100,000 miles. The most insulting part? These Cadillacs are less than repair costs by the time the Northstar goes dead. Owners are presented with the saddening dilemma of discarding an otherwise beautiful luxury sedan, but they spend a lot more in repair than it would cost to buy. It is American luxury transformed into American nightmare. Number 11. Volkswagen Touareg. The Volkswagen Touareg promised German SUV luxury at a lower price, only to be then rudely interrupted by later catastrophic diesel systems and air suspension faults. Fuel injector failure is highly common and expensive, ranging between $2,000 to $6,000, depending on the quantity of injectors that have failed simultaneously. Yet another miscellaneous expense of $3,000 to $5,000 to your bill. The diesel particulate filter system might clog and requires replacement. Air suspension components are said to fail very easily, and air springs, air compressors, and air control modules compose service invoices that can exceed $4,000 to $8,000. Considering a mixture of systems go bad simultaneously, this happens very often, you are discussing repair ecclesiastical that will be as expensive as the car itself. The Touareg is too complex in its own interest. Every comfort touch and border note is another potential failure point, and once German labor rates are in conflict with German engineering, then the results are economically disastrous. Number 10. Volvo XC90 V8. Volvo established its image as the safest and most reliable cars, and thus, when they launched the XC90 V8, families flocked to purchase what they believed was the ultimate safe luxury SUV. No one had told them that this Yamaha-built V8 would turn into one of the most costly family haulers that had ever been made. Balanced shaft bearing failure is the fatal flaw in the engine, but it may not sound much before you get to know that balanced shaft bearings can only be accessed by pulling all the drivetrain. The repair costs, $4,000 to $8,000, are in the range of $7,000 to $12,000 just to replace a bearing. The labor by itself can cost $5,000 since it has to take everything apart. There is still more pain in the offing, however. Their transmission is also likely to break down, which will cost you an extra $4,000 to $6,000 more. When the two systems go dead simultaneously, an occurrence with alarming regularity, you're giving up more than $15,000 on a car whose current value is between and less than $8,000 to $12,000. The cruelest irony? The reason why families purchased these was that Volvo connoted safety and reliability. They received instead a beautiful Swedish SUV, which spends more time in the shop than taking the kids to soccer practice. It is a car that is the auto version of ordering a dependable family sedan and receiving the service schedule of a Ferrari. Number 9. Audi A6 and A8 3.0T. The Audi 3.0T engine is fast, powerful, and one that can destroy itself without giving you the slightest hint. A well-known vulnerability on these engines is the tensioner system used in the timing chain, which may malfunction in a disastrous manner, transforming the $40,000 luxury sedan into a $40,000 paperweight. Just when the timing chain leaps or snaps, the engine kills itself internally. Cracked valves, worn pistons, and scrolled cylinder heads take a timing chain service, costing you $1,500 to do, and figures as $8,000 to $15,000 to rebuild or replace the engine. The most frustrating part? This malfunction may occur in properly serviced cars with complete service records. No one can predict when it will break. Today the car will be running fine, and then the next day you will not be able to start the car, and you will be paying more than the car is worth in repair. Audi has acknowledged the issue in some model years, but that doesn't help owners of affected vehicles facing catastrophic failures. Many owners report that Audi dealers quote $12,000 to $18,000 for timing chain-related engine repairs, making these luxury sedans financial suicide after the warranty expires. Number 8. Mazda RX8. The Mazda RX8 captured sports car enthusiasts with its rotary engine, balanced handling, and suicide doors that made it appear like no other car in the road. What Mazda did not promote was that they had created an engine that is practically eating itself alive with mathematical accuracy. The apex seals of the Renesas rotary engine are the proverbial Achilles heel, and with predictable frequency they break anywhere between 60,000 and 80,000 miles. Once they are gone, the whole engine is dead. No halfway cure, no band-aid. You are talking about total engine dismantles that run between $5,000 and $8,000, or even engine swap that may cost up to $10,000. The most pitiable aspect? It is not abuse or neglect that brings these failures. Apex seal death occurs even in perfectly maintained RX8s, which have been religiously changed and in which the correct warm-up procedure has been followed. The very design of the engine is incorrect in regard to the daily usability. What is particularly inhumane about this is that the purchasers believed that they were acquiring a unique, inexpensive sports car. Instead, they received a mechanical lottery ticket of dismal odds. A good portion of RX8s are scrapped before 100,000 miles is covered, not because of any wear and tear, but because it is cheaper to maintain the engine running than the car itself. Number 7. Lincoln Navigator. Lincoln Navigator was the solution to luxury SUV in America, being sold on promise of Cadillac Escalade comfort and Ford reliability. Owners had found out that the worst of both worlds had been included in this car, that they were paying luxury repair bills on a car that was going down in value like a rocket. The weakest bit of the Navigator is the air suspension system, which is its financial Achilles heel. In case it fails, and failure is practically certain on higher mileage models, it costs you $6,000 to $10,000 to change the complete system. Air springs, compressors, height sensors, and control modules all appear to align their failures against maximum financial effect. Yet the penalty does not end there. There is also a transmission problem in these Navigators that can run up an additional $4,000 to $6,000 to your repairs bill. Both systems malfunctioning simultaneously, as it is happening all too often, results in repair bills that can creep into the $15,000 on a car worth perhaps $8,000 to $12,000. The cruelest irony? Customers had bought the Navigator with the anticipation of American SUV ease and trustworthiness. They instead received the complexity and cost of repairs of Range Rover without the European prestige to endure the financial suffering. It is as though you pay luxury car reliability and economy car prices, but the luxury car prices never cease. Number 6. Chrysler 200. The Chrysler 200 appeared the ideal cheap midsize sedan, classy, contemporary, affordable. What Chrysler did not promote was that they had fitted it with a 9-speed that is more personality disorder than a soap opera actor. It is a nightmare of a transmission. These vehicles are characterized by harsh shifting, full failures, and unpredictable behavior, culminating in transmission rebuilds that are costly in the range of $4,000 to $7,000. Add to that the electrical gremlins which appear to be breeding rabbits, and you have a formula of financial doom. Although the Pentastar V6 engine is generally more reliable than the transmission, it is prone to catastrophic failures, which cost the owner up to $8,000 and more to repair. When your cheapy car, sedan, requires an engine rebuild, the irony of it all is excruciatingly costly. The reason why the Chrysler 200 is especially monstrous is that consumers specifically selected the model because of its low prices. No one wants their cost-efficient family sedan to cost as much as a luxury car to maintain. It is like having ordered a value meal and being charged steakhouse prices, only to have the steakhouse prices keep reoccurring after every few months. Number 5. Kia Telluride. The Kia Telluride came into the picture as the family SUV that was to break the luxury establishment with exceptional value and features. What Kia failed to advertise was that they had packed this 3-row marvel with engines that could turn your family hauler into a family disaster on wheels. The V6, 3.8-liter engine of the Telluride notoriously has a reputation of causing disastrous bearing failures, which happen unexpectedly at a range of around 70,000 to 90,000 miles. A failure in these bearings means you aren't dealing with just a single repair project. You're dealing with a full engine rebuild or replacement to the tune of $8,000 to $12,000 on a car that might not be worth more than $25,000 to $35,000. The most devastating part? These malfunctions hit even cars that have full service records. The same owners who are religiously adherent to Kia maintenance schedules are left with taken engines and hefty bills that they pay in terms of repair, which many cannot afford to pay in their lifetime on their first car. The cruelty of the Telluride in specificity lies in the fact that families specifically selected the model based on the value proposition and reputation of reliability. They thought they received luxury features on mainstream prices, whereas they received mainstream reliability with luxury repair prices. It is the automotive version of having ordered a Happy Meal and having steakhouse prices billed to it, except that the steakhouse prices keep being billed every few months. Number 4. Mini Cooper. Mini Coopers are entertaining, trendy, and can cost more to repair than what they cost to buy. Within these mini cars are complicated engines, 2-clutch transmissions, and German-style BMW-inspired internal parts that shatter with accuracy and cost. Timing chain failure may ruin the whole engine, costing repair bills of $5,000 to $10,000 on vehicles that may only be worth $8,000 to $15,000. Dual-clutch automatic transmission components can break down in a catastrophic way, which can cost $4,000 to $8,000 to replace or reassemble it. The reason mini repairs are especially painful is the amount of labor involved to work on the cramped engine bay components. Basic repairs are complicated and costly operations since all must be broken down to access the defective component. Many Mini owners discover that their cute, quirky cars have repair costs that rival luxury vehicles, but without the luxury car resale values to justify the expense. It's the worst of both worlds. Premium repair bills on economy car values. Number 3. Jaguar XJ and XF. Jaguar has created beautiful, advanced luxury sedans that will empty your pockets through their complexity and frailty. Air suspension systems, timing chain problems, and electrical gremlins all make ideal combinations of costly fixes. Failure of air suspension is virtually assured, and replacements of compressors and air springs regularly approach $3,000 to $6,000. Issues with timing chains might mean engine rebuilds of up to $10,000 to $18,000. And the electricity systems are so complicated that a test charge can be over $500. The unreliability of Jaguar is no hollow boast. These vehicles are in the garage a lot, which translates to large repair bills, making a purchase of a luxury car a very costly idea. The longer warranties are not optional, but rather financial survival mechanisms. The depreciation of Jaguars is cruel, as everybody knows it. An expensive car priced at $60,000 becomes a cheap one priced at $15,000, not because it is not an attractive car, but because those who intend to buy this car are so scared of the maintenance cost. Number 2. Ford Focus and Fiesta PowerShift transmission. The PowerShift dual-clutch automatic transmission sold by Ford can be viewed as one of the most remarkable flops in the history of the automotive world. Millions of Focus and Fiesta models featured these transmissions, which generated such serious issues as to become the basis of class-action lawsuits. Clutch pack failures, transmission control module problems, and full transmission replacements became so widespread that Ford extended warranties and paid cash settlements to their owners. The cost of repairs between $3,000 and $8,000 on cars of less value than the repair. The worst part of it all is that most owners of PowerShifts purchased this vehicle as an affordable mode of transportation, and only to realize that they had inadvertently bought automotive lottery tickets with dismal chances. Various transmission breakdowns in individual vehicles became the order of the day, and proper transportation became costly scams. The PowerShift transmission was eventually scrapped by Ford, but millions of unsuspecting used car customers are driving cars with defective transmissions that continue to give them financial nightmares. Number 1. Lexus LS 460. The Lexus LS 460 was the bulletproof luxury car that was to be combined with reliability of Toyota with the luxury features. No one supposed that Lexus would turn on themselves with air suspension systems that can be described as anything below reliable. Failure of the air suspension. When this goes wrong, which it will go wrong, a complete system costs between $6,000 and $10,000. Air springs, compressors, height sensors, and control modules all appear to have their failures coordinated to produce maximum financial effect. It is as though they had an appointment and had decided to take a break at the worst time. Take the valve spring recalls and direct injection carbon accretion problem, and your previously trustworthy Lexus now requires thousands of dollars in new repairs. The direct injection system forms a carbon deposits, which needs high-cost walnut blasting processes to clean up. The most shocking part? This kills the whole Lexus value proposition. Certainly, individuals purchase Lexus in order to escape the nightmare of repairing the German luxury vehicles. You become aware of paying luxury prices in the case when your Lexus becomes expensive to maintain, as expensive as a BMW or Mercedes. So, that is 15 vehicles that can make your dreams of transportation at affordable prices turn into financial nightmares. The lesson? The lowest priced car to purchase can sometimes be the highest priced car to keep. What did you find the most shocking about these? Send your worst repair bill stories to the comments. We do read them all. And did this help you avoid an expensive error? Hit that subscribe button to more money-saving automotive truth.